Urban Meyer is stepping down as head coach of the University of Florida football team, according to the athletic director, Jeremy Foley. Urban Meyer said in a statement released through the school, "I've given my heart and soul to coaching college football and mentoring young men for the last 24+ years. I've dedicated most of my waking moments the last 5 years to the Gator football program," said Meyer. He also went on to say, "I've ignored my health for years, but recent developments have forced me to reevaluate my priorities of faith and family." Meyer went on to say in the release that he's proud to be part of the Gainesville community, and he plans to remain in Gainesville and involved with the University of Florida. He will coach his last game for Florida in the Gators Sugar Bowl matchup against Cincinnati on January 1st in New Orleans. Foley said, "Coach Meyer and I have talked this through. He realizes how hard it was for him to reach this decision. The bottom line, according to Foley, is that Coach Meyer needed to make a choice that is in the best interest of his well-being and his family. I appreciate what he has meant to the University of Florida." Again, that is Jeremy Foley, the athletic director in Florida, as he comments on Urban Meyer stepping down as the head coach at the university. Let's bring Joe Shaddy in now, who joins us live from San Francisco, the site of the Emerald Bowl. We'll get to the USC side of this in a second, but obviously this is enormous news that's going to have ripple-down effects throughout college football and perhaps even the pros. Is this something that anyone could have anticipated?
No, absolutely stunning news that Urban Meyer will step down as Florida football coach. It was reported that after the SEC championship game, Urban Meyer did go to a hospital. Reportedly, he had chest pains. Now, the school said at that time that Urban Meyer had been treated for dehydration and released. Clearly, this is a health issue. Urban Meyer has been, stressed on the sideline at times throughout his career, but the fact that he is now stepping down as Gators coach, stunning news from the Florida community.
And obviously we're all just finding out about this, Joe. 2 national championships in his 5 years at Florida, 2 SEC titles in 06 and 08, 3 SEC Eastern Division crowns, and recently named Sporting News and Sports Illustrated Coach of the Decade. Can you offer some perspective on what Meyer, now that he has decided to step aside, will have meant to the University of Florida and to college football coaching?
Well, Steve Spurrier laid the groundwork for championships at Florida. He revolutionized the conference with his passing attack. Urban Meyer brought in a spread option attack that enabled him to, in some minds, surpass what Steve Spurrier had done, which is almost unthinkable. He, came in from Utah, brought in by the president, who he had worked with at Utah, Bernie Machin, exceeded expectations, coached a program with dignity and class, a high-powered offensive attack, complemented by a defense. Charlie Strong was his defensive coordinator. He would be a potential candidate to replace Urban Meyer, but he's already accepted a job at Louisville. Mississippi State coach Dan Mullen was Urban Meyer's national championship offensive coordinator. Would he consider a return to Florida? So many ramifications of this coming at this unexpected time.
When you think about Florida, obviously in light of the Notre Dame head coaching vacancy and subsequent that position being filled by Brian Kelly, will some of those other names resurface, and where in sort of a pantheon of college football coaching jobs does Florida fit?
Well, it's one of the best. Florida, Texas, USC. Those are the premier jobs in all of college football. It is everything a college football coach could possibly want is made available to you at the University of Florida, including facilities, the ability to recruit, the perfect weather, the high academic standards of the school. It is a premier job. If, in fact, this is it for Urban Meyer at Florida, coaches will come out of the woodwork. I'm sure Jeremy Foley is already receiving his share of resumes.
And just again to repeat, through a school release, Urban Meyer has decided he will step down as the head coach at the University of Florida. Amongst the things that he says, and I quote, "I have ignored my health for years, but recent developments have forced me to reevaluate my priorities of faith and family." So that is the latest on Urban Meyer.